Okay. Hey, hope everyone had a wonderful holiday.
Mhm.
Did.
Okay, so Angie called me up. I don't know, was it a couple of days ago, Angie?
Yep.
On an absolute tear. Okay. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, yeah. It was just one of those phone calls where it's just agree with Angie, whatever it is, just agree with her.
I was literally losing what was left of my mind. Let me explain. Okay, so my dog Jazzy is a pug and she's a cleft palate puppy. She went in for surgery on Wednesday. So the surgeon called me. I dropped her off at 7 a.m. Surgeon called me at 9, said she would be going into surgery between 10 and 11.
Mhm.
Fantastic. Everything was good. All everything was ready to go. Great. So she said, I will call you around 2 p.m. Okay, great. So it is rabbit grooming day, and I am waiting to hear what's going on. So I'm grooming away. 2 p.m. comes. Okay, still grooming a bunny. It's fine. Okay, no phone ringing. I have no word. It's now 2:30. Okay, so I call. Go, okay, so she said you call it 2. Well, she'll call you shortly.
Now, to
Yep.
me, shortly also means like within a half hour max.
Yeah, yeah. Within 15 minutes,
15
shortly.
minutes, half hour, shortly.
So then 3 o'clock rolls around, still no call. Call again. She'll call you any minute. Okay. 4 o'clock. Nothing. Okay. Is my dog alive?
Mhm.
Can you just tell me that? The surgeon will be calling you right now.
I would get in my car. I'm already in my car. I'm in my car.
I am freaking out. They call. So I call again 15 minutes later. You said she'd call right now. Where is my phone call? Any minute.
And she can't
Okay.
even tell you if your dog's alive. Like she can't relay that
Can you
information.
can you please tell me if my dog has made it through surgery? No. Okay. Finally get a call at 4:45 saying she's made it. She's in the ICU. We'll call you tomorrow with an update. Her tube did come out during surgery. So we need to do a chest x ray before we can let her go. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Now, mind you, this has been since 9 a.m.
Hmm.
My brain is like, okay. So Thursday, 9, 10, 11. I call at 9. I'm like, just checking in. Make sure you have my phone number. Ready for a call whenever. They'll call you by 11. Great. 11:30, noon. I call at 11:30. Shortly. 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock. 4 o'clock.
In the morning.
This is at night.
Mhm.
2 in the afternoon. Again, Cat Bunny Day. Call it 2. Call it 3. Call it 4. It is now 4:45. They, the vets and the staff leaves at 5 o'clock.
Mhm.
I call any minute. I'm done grooming. Angie, my assistant, God bless her, she's like, just go, just go, just go, just go. I run out the door. I'm driving there. I am freaking out because I haven't heard all day what's going on.
Mhm.
Was there a complication? Was there a problem? Is she alive? I don't know.
Mhm.
So I call Mary and I'm losing my poo.
Your poop. You're
Yeah.
poopless.
So now, on a lighter side, I did let the staff know that Jazzy does not like poop in her crate. She will scream like someone's ripping her leg off if there is poo in her crate. And so I go there. They say she's okay. Couldn't get the chest x-ray because I gave her the sedation. She fought the sedation and she would not chill.
All right, and I'm just going to interrupt for 1 second. So, and this is also what I want to talk about because Jazzy fought the sedation, which is not uncommon.
Right.
Go ahead. Continue on,
Uh,
Angie.
Okay, so they gave her the sedation at 2, 3 o'clock. They tried 4 o'clock. They tried 5 o'clock. They tried. Staff left. 6 o'clock, which is when I finally got there. She was chill. Well, yeah, she's chill now because 4 hours earlier she got the sedation, and now
Right.
she's like, "Oh, I'm sleepy." So they say, okay, we are keeping her overnight because couldn't get the chest x-ray. Tomorrow we'll give you a call at 9 a.m. to
No, you
set up
won't.
a time. And I'm like, okay, let me be honest. I'm a business owner. When one of my customers calls me and says, how long will it be before my dog is done? I give them an estimate in actual minutes. I do not use vague terms like soon, a few minutes, a while. I am specific
Mhm.
of how long exactly it will be until that dog is finished. If it's going to be 45 minutes, I will say it is 45 minutes. If it's going to be an hour, it will take another hour. If it is going to be 15 minutes, I will say 15 minutes. However long it is, I am exact and to the point of exactly when that dog will be finished. 9 a.m. comes the next morning. No call. 10 o'clock comes. No call. 10:30. I want my dog. 11 o'clock calls, and finally, the secretary is there, and I was like, hi. Okay, so they're releasing my dog today, and I was told I would get a call at 9, and I've already called twice. So in order to save you time and save me time from me calling you every minute for the next hour until I get to actually talk to someone, would you be so kind as to connect me with someone who can tell me when I can go pick up my dog? Um, 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 uh, uh, they'll call you right now. I said,
Whoa.
I'll hold.
No.
I'll hold. You can
Oh.
put me on hold. So they put me on hold.
I'd have
Oh.
also been in the car.
Okay, but
Where do you think that was
understand.
going? I was already halfway there.
Yeah, but to bring another point here, Angie, how far was the vet from you?
From my home, it's an hour and a half. From the salon, it's about an hour.
Okay, so this was not a local vet. Whereas,
Right.
you know what, I'm going to just get in my car. It's a 15-minute drive, and I'm going to park myself in their parking lot until someone comes talks to me.
No. Not parking lot, face, making
Mm.
uncomfortable eye contact.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Directly.
Yeah. So, okay. She's like, and now mind you, this is the woman that hung up on me twice on Wednesday. She hung up on me when I said, please, I'm begging you, can you tell me if my dog is alive? She hung up the phone. There's no love loss here. I do not mind calling her every minute for the next foreseeable future. So she's like, please hold, click. And then I get the hold music, and about probably 5 minutes goes by, and a vet tech comes on, and she's like, hi. Okay, so let's set up Jazzy's plan. Um, how far away are you? And I'm like, I'm thinking about 20 minutes at this point. And she's like, okay. Okay. Well, she should be ready to go by then. Fantastic. I will see you then. The bill, this is a huge hospital. This is one of the biggest hospitals in the Northeast. So the bill is already paid. It's good to go. Just give me my dog. Okay. So I get Jazzy. Matt takes Jazzy home for me to watch her while I finish out the day.
Mhm.
Last day of grooming, craziness. Okay. And so the surgeon will call you
Oh,
with
Jesus, fuck.
after surgery questions, whatnot. Fantastic. Just give me the dog. Well, the surgeon never called. I left 3 messages because they closed up the surgical thing after I had gone. Like they left halfway through the day. So it is now Tuesday. You would think they would be back. I have left 2 more messages. I have no idea. I do not know if these are dissolvable stitches, if she will need to have them out. When do we do a recheck? When is her next appointment? Do they need to see her? Any of this. I have nothing.
All right. So here's a piece of advice, PSA for anybody, whether it's a dog or a person. Do not schedule surgery in and around a big holiday such as Christmas or Easter, New Year's, anything large, because this is what happens. Everyone's got plans. They want to
Mhm.
go. My husband had, I think it was 3 years ago, had prostate cancer. So they were doing the surgery and they were going to let him go home like Christmas Eve or something like that. What a nightmare trying to get out of that hospital because there was no staff there anymore. Nobody.
Mhm.
I rented a hotel and I just because I was there because the hospital was in Seattle, so that's a 2.5 hour drive without you know traffic or whatever. So there's no way I'm just gonna just wait at home and then go. So we stayed overnight. I stayed overnight in Seattle,
Mhm.
and just to try to get that man out of the hospital. I mean, it was almost to the point where I was like going up to the room, grabbing the wheelchair and wheeling him out because there wasn't anybody there.
Mhm.
Okay. So don't schedule major surgery in and around a holiday. Okay.
I was just so happy they could get her in.
Yeah.
It took me 6 months just to get the pre-surgical appointment. And
Mhm.
then they were like, well, we can do it December 20th. I'm like, sold. Oh my God. If you're going to give me a date that's within the next 2 months,
Mhm.
I will take it. I didn't even like whatever, because with a cleft palate dog, their food, their spit, their water, everything comes out her nose. So we are constantly battling, having to irrigate the cleft, to get the food down, to aspirate her nostrils, to get water out, spit out. It's like it's a constant thing.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to eliminate that as soon as possible for her,
Yeah.
because it's not fun,
Mhm.
to have somebody like open your mouth and shoot water down through the hole in your
Into your
face.
sinuses.
Yeah.
Right.
To
Yeah.
clean out the chunk of food that's trapped in the cleft while she's like, but if
Mhm.
I don't get it out, she can't get it out. It's just, ugh. So yeah, in
Well, you know
hindsight,
what? I worked in a huge 60+ employee surgical and diagnostic center, and any receptionist would have been fired on the spot for not getting that information to you. You are important, and that information is absolutely vital to a veterinarian business. And I cannot
Mhm.
even imagine that they wouldn't even give you any information whatsoever. I'm aghast. I saw that whole thing unfold, and I was just like, "What?"
I just want to know if the dog was alive.
Mm.
I was literally losing what was left of my mind.
Mhm.
I was freaking out,
There's no excuse
having a
for it.
meltdown.
You're responsible for if you're doing the surgery and if you have a technician, somebody should be calling you right when that dog is being recovered and in recovery. Phone call. Phone call. There's no excuse.
All right.
Or
So
at least say, yes, she's in recovery now.
She's alive and
I
in
would have been
recovery.
fine with
We'll
that.
call you as soon as we can because we're busy. But
I
at
would have been
least
fine
give
with
you
that.
that. My dog is alive.
That's all I wanted.
Mm,
Is she alive? I was literally having a freaking meltdown.
sure.
And I had a friend call me, and I was on the phone with them. They were talking me off the ledge because I was losing it.
Mhm.
I was
So
legit afraid to call you. I was like, should I call her? She's losing her shit. I think
I
she's
didn't want to tie up
grooming.
her phone line,
Right,
honestly.
yeah, me too. That's
You know?
and that's an age check because we all have call waiting now. But
Doesn't
in the
yeah,
back
matter.
of the head, it's like
I
you
was
could miss the
yeah,
beep.
yeah, I was freaking out. But
Mhm.
so the sedation thing is a very important point from all of this. Now, she is a young puppy. She is 8 months old, and they gave her sedation, and then they gave her a little bit more,
Mhm.
and then they gave her a little bit more. And she was like, no, I want to play, and you should hold me, and I'm going to scamper around the office, and this is so much fun. And I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And she had major surgery the day before.
Mhm.
And they're like, Spasmo, what are you doing? And she's like, what? You ever see those TikToks with like grooming a puppy where they have the little puppy that's like blah 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 blah.
The stuffed toy, the
Yeah,
wind up toy. That yeah.
and it just bounces around. That's basically her, except when she's on a grooming table because she has been groomed every week since she was 6 weeks old. So she is a total diva and hates to be dirty. So grooming is very important. But yeah, she's a nut. She's an absolute nut, and they could not get her to chill because she's like, you should hold me, and I want to chew your nose and give me your chin, and let me see your watch. And
Mhm.
she was a
See,
nut.
they just didn't want to call you because they were too busy playing with her. That's what
Well,
it was. They didn't want her to go home so soon because she is adorable.
she's
okay,
adorable.
so the
I
the
could see
point
that.
here too, for those of us that take pets in that are sedated, okay, understand, unless it's not a vet's office, that's a totally different story.
Yeah.
Okay. Animal pets will fight sedation. They
Absolutely.
can and they will, and can make the situation far worse.
Yep.
So I just kind of want to bring up that point.
Yeah. Well, I had a cat years and years ago that the owner wanted the cat. It was at the point, it was a very old cat. And I'm like, it was pelted. It was pelted. And I'm like, I am not touching that. And it was really aggressive,
Mhm.
really aggressive, pelted the skin. I'm like, I'm not doing that without a vet tech and like the whole deal. I'll do it at the vet's. So the vet agreed to have me come down and do that. Well, it took like 10 minutes for this cat with general anesthesia
Mhm.
to go nanites. And I would put my hand on the cat, and all you hear is "Rawr!" And it's like there's a tube in your throat, man. What the heck? And that cat was still ready to go. And
Mhm.
so it took 10 minutes. And I'm like, I'm saying to the vet tech at the time, I didn't have that experience. And I'm like, is this normal? And she's like,
Yeah.
no.
It is normal though.
Yeah, and she's like, "But, it does happen, but
Mhm.
not very often." And
Look,
so I'm like,
see,
"Well, how long do we wait?" And she's like, "Well, just, you just do."
Listen, this is so common. I had a grooming anesthesia groom on a cat named Snoopy French, and I will never forget. I hope that that's that cat's name because I'm probably trying to block it. So I had my faithful technician there, my wonderful dog supervising, but here I am doing the thing. And of course, the muscles twitch and this, that, and the other. It happens. This cat had to be bathed, shaved and bathed under anesthesia because that is the only way this cat could be clean. The cat wanted to kill you. You could tell that he was plotting your death and hated you and went to sleep dreaming of ways to kill you. So intubated, isoflurane gas. And here I am grooming away and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, the cat went and smacked the tube out of its own mouth. I literally was getting ready to run away. That's how scared I was. And Carrie reached down and she got the tube and she went boom like that and just spun the dial because the cat was so dangerous. And we looked at each other and we just started laughing. And then I remember Dr. Ashmore came in and he was like, technicians don't run. I'm like, I'm so glad I had one with me. Leave me alone.
Most of you have met Beth. Okay. Do you know the only time that woman was ever bit by a dog was a sedated Westie, fully sedated Westie?
Yes.
Woke up in the middle of sedation, bit her, went back to sleep.
Hi.
Mhm.
Good night.
I woke up just to show you this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sedation in my heart of hearts, in my opinion, having done both for very many years, I don't recommend sedated pets in a salon with no one with a technician background at all. You're just not equipped for that. Their heart could stop, their blood pressure could go down. There's a million things that can happen. And that's why you want sedation to happen in a veterinary environment. It's very important. If somebody comes in and says, oh yeah, I gave him some gabapentin, I literally make them go back home.
Yeah. I don't want that.
Yeah, I don't want a sedated pet that's high and can't communicate with me.
No.
It's just dangerous. There's no amount of what do you call them, a release form for me anyway, in my opinion, that is going to alleviate the dangers of a sedated dog in a salon environment.
Not to mention,
or a cat.
Or a cat.
Not to mention, if you know, okay, they hate their face. They hate their face. Everything else, they hate. So you finish their face and you're like, all right, I'm safe. And they're going, oh yeah, I don't like that.
Right.
Fuck you. And then they bite you because they're delayed reaction. Yeah. Yes. And
they're not, and they flail. So they're going to bite you worse than they would have if they would have been focused and just trying to discipline you.
Kayla says, I want a pet that is coherent so you can work with them, not when they're so high they don't retain anything either. Right. And that is such a huge thing, especially for me when I'm doing a cat. It's like you can tell they're in there, but there's this haze and they're just like, dun, 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 dun. And years ago when I worked at another salon, I didn't have an option. I had to take them because I was an employee. Now I have the option and I will not take a pet that is on gabapentin or ACE or any of that stuff because they're the body language, they have none.
Well, that's beside the point for me, because ACE promazine only stills the body and not the mind. They are aware of every single thing that you're doing to them, getting madder and more fearful and terrified and angry. And there is no need for that. They need something with a ZAM at the end, an alprazolam. Gabapentin is even good because it does lower anxiety. ACE promazine, did you know they used to do surgery with just ACE?
Yep.
Imagine it. Locked in syndrome is basically what they're doing to these animals.
Yeah.
It's terrible. If somebody says, oh yeah, I just gave him a little bit of ACE, have them reschedule. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
No.
We don't take anything that's sedated.
Yeah.
I will go to the vet and do an anesthesia groom.
Right.
The vet tech is standing right here. The vet is right there. And I'll shave them down, but that's in there. And I go in as a 1099. I'm a contractor. I'm coming in just to make them naked and be on my way. But I'm not doing that in my salon. I don't have a vet on staff.
Mhm.
Yes, I do know CPR. Yes, I teach pet CPR. I don't have oxygen.
Why
I don't
invite that liability? What if their heart is
No.
weak? What if they have
Oh.
breathing problems and they die on your table because they're sedated? There's
No.
no recourse. I don't think insurance even pays that out. You were wrong.
I
No.
wouldn't even want. It
Mm-mm.
doesn't matter if insurance pays it out or not, because A, I don't want that trauma for me. I don't want a dog to die on me. B, I don't want the dog to die. Those two are kind of tied.
Mhm.
I don't want the dog to die. And C, social media does not give a flying wet fart.
Mhm.
No, they don't. The torches and pitchforks will come for you.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's just
absolutely.
better to avoid it. There
Well, and I bring
are
up the liability and the insurance simply because a lot of people won't be deterred by, oh, it's worse on the dog. You
Well,
already
yeah.
know. Some people are very efficient and they're like, well,
Yeah.
that was my booking. I needed my money and here we are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You are creating a liability for yourself
Yeah.
and a whole lot of anguish. And I would just avoid it if I were you.
It's not worth it. It's not
Yeah.
worth it because in the end, the torches and pitchforks will come for you, and it is what it is.
Mhm.
And it's not worth it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So this is the last live stream of the year. We're going to start off in January again. And I think the next one, what I want to talk about is it's the beginning of the year. We're all making stupid New Year's resolutions.
I'm
Or
not.
we've gone past the point.
No.
We've gotten past the point of making stupid New Year's
Stick New
resolutions.
Year's resolutions.
The only New
Okay,
Year's
okay.
resolution I'm willing to make is I will drink more Dr. Pepper.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
I'm in.
But it's the new year. It's time to think of the new things that you may want to be doing. So we're going to talk about maybe planning for a
price
little bit in the
increase.
future. Okay. But anyway, we do have, before we finish up, okay, we do have, actually, I want to say something before we finish up, before we do Angie's thing. Oh, wait.
And I have a thing too.
Okay. So the book about spirit, the spirited life, the life and times of Spirit Oquendo is off to the layout editor. And from her, it goes right to the publisher. So
That's awesome.
I'm hoping
Get your
about
tissues.
Oh yeah, you will need, bring the Kleenex. You're gonna need a whole pile.
But you'll also laugh your ass off.
You will.
So
And
don't
there's a
be
lot
like
of happy tears,
Yes.
but there are. Chris and I have already read it because we reviewed
Oh,
it.
you haven't finished reading the last edit. Not much difference, but
Okay.
just a little better. But anywho, okay. So look for that. Trust me, I will be making big announcements when that is ready for purchase.
Mhm.
Anyway, so I know today, Chris, is today the last day to get.
Yes, that was my announcement today. And there is much debate amongst the board of the NJPPGA if we're going to extend that at all. So theoretically, today is the last day for the early bird pricing. We might extend it by a couple days, but it
The early
goes
bird pricing for
for the Groomers Ball. The NJPPGA sponsored the Groomers Gala. We made it. We made it through Christmas. We're going to make it through January, whatever not slow weather related hell January is going to bring us. So we want to party, dust off the dog hair, put on the glad rags. Whatever
when is
that
it, Chris?
It is February 4th, on Sunday, February 4th. It is in Mountainside, New Jersey. Had to remember the exact town. It's like Mountainside, Springfield.
Are there any hotels nearby?
There are 2 hotels nearby. There's one directly kind of across the highway, and there's another one we recommend that's like maybe 10 minutes away. That's also very nice. All of that information is on the website, on the event information.
What's the
And
web address, Chris?
I gotta look that up, Angie. You know, she keeps asking me the questions, and I keep wanting to say things like what the early bird pricing is, but that's not what we're doing. Now I have to look up the web address. The web address is njppga.wildapricot.org.
And can you say that one more time, please? NJPP.
njppga.wildapricot.org. And I will put that link in the chat because I've already been sharing it all over the place. Ha ha. Thank
Okay.
you.
So,
So by
we're
the
gonna.
way, who is coming to this, Angie? I
I actually happen to have a ticket, and my hotel is booked. And yes, I will be there.
yes.
And I am very excited to be there. And the early bird pricing, that is how much, Chris?
That early bird pricing is 109 and that goes up to 129. And Pedro, I checked, by the way. You know, I can check attendees. I was like, did Pedro get his fucking ticket yet? He keeps saying he gonna be there. Got his
It
ticket.
looks like he did.
He did.
And I believe
can
Monica
confirm.
will be there as well. Monica King will be there as well.
Yep.
I know Amanda Matisse will be there. And her
I will be
Celtic
there.
Canine. Celtic Canine,
Semi-obligated.
Amanda
Yeah.
and Mary Lynn will be there. And I believe Beverly Rock will be there
Yep.
as well. Melinda Salazar Diaz will be there too.
And let me explain the door prizes and the raffles, because Angie has generously donated her rabbit grooming book that she will, since she's there, she'll be able to sign it to whoever wins it and everything. So the door prize raffles, you show up, you get a raffle ticket. We have amazing prizes. We have a canine dryer. We have the rabbit grooming book. We have a positive ed gift certificate. We have a gift certificate to River Lee's program. Oh, we have some stuff from Michelle. Michelle, do we have some stuff from you?
You can absolutely.
We have some stuff from Michelle. We have, and I'm forgetting a bunch of stuff because we have stuff from Jody Murphy. We have stuff from DMK. We have both swag bags and door prizes for the bigger stuff. We have stuff from iGroom, Les Pooch. I mean, so you show up, you get a raffle ticket for one of the bigger prizes. You show up, you get a swag bag with some little samples and some other goodies in it. Pedro's probably providing some stickers.
As a raffle, we're going to have a couple of our skincare educational reference cards,
which are
and
awesome, by the way. I have
and
two
for
sets,
the swag bags, everybody is going to get a little sample of the dewdrops.
which are also excellent. I have those as well.
Those
They
are so awesome.
fantastic.
They're
Okay.
weird, aren't they, Angie? They're different.
So,
The
Christina,
gala
go ahead,
is
Angie.
the
Oh,
gala
who
is
is
for any groomer that wants to attend.
Yeah.
You do not have to be a New Jersey groomer. I'm not from New Jersey. Amanda and Mary Lynn are not from New Jersey. They're from Pennsylvania. Monica is from Illinois.
Yeah. It is being hosted by the New Jersey Pet Professional Groomers Alliance. Yeah. And I say NJPPGA so much, and when I have to say it out, I go, bah, 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 bah. Really great chairwoman there, Chris.
Kate wants to donate a first aid kit.
Yes, you can absolutely donate a first aid kit. That would be amazing.
Indiana. That's where
Amazing.
Monica's from. Indiana.
That would be a great raffle, Kate. I will message you after this and get you the address to send that to. And it is for all groomers. We're hosting it, we're sponsoring it, but it is for any groomer who wants to show up, because we We need to network. We need to get together, and it's just going to be amazing. 4 hours of open bar.
That's crazy.
Plus, I know.
Yeah, that's insane.
There was hot debate about that.
And if you don't video everything, I don't even know you. We got to know what happened.
I am. Listen, the bartender's going to make crazy tips because I am planning on slipping him a 20 to water my drinks so that I don't I have to represent. So I have to be semi-professional, yet at the same time, I am a cheap. So I paid for my ticket. So I'm like, I'm going to take advantage of this open bar. So there needs to be a drink in my hand. So I'm going to tip him to water my drinks. If anyone wants to tip him to not water my drinks, I don't know about that. So I'll probably find out after 2 sips and go, woo-hoo-hoo.
This is a great party.
I'll tell you how I really feel about stuff and things now. No, I won't. I won't the rest of my board. I swear it'll be good.
Right.
So I have already promised to have a margarita while I am there.
And Angie drunk is adorable.
I have an alcohol allergy, so I process alcohol very quickly. And it takes like a shot to get me just hammered. But I'm not driving.
And then she's on the Angie carousel, and it's great.
Yeah. Now, Pedro, I don't do that. I don't do that in public because I think I did that once in public, and it became imperative that I tell someone that they were wrong, why they were wrong, and how, and right then, politically.
Okay.
That was not no,
not a good idea.
No,
stay away from that.
No. Oh, and by the way, yeah, no, it's not a not a good idea.
Okay, so let's go on to Angie's weird animal fact. Okay, so hold on, here we
which
go.
one it is. I did a bunch of them.
Angie's weekly weird fact.
Cats can have over 100 vocal sounds, whereas dogs actually have about 10. So cats will peep, they'll meow, they'll caterwaul.
Angie's weekly weird fact.
And they will change in pitch and tone, where dogs have 10 tones, 10 sounds that they make that they will use. That doesn't mean dogs don't know as many words. They know probably
It has to do with their
more.
vocal cords themselves. They can't make a variety of vocalizations.
Right.
And don't forget, Angie.
Yes, that's the focused. The squirrel is outside, and I want to eat his face. That's that noise.
I have a fun fact to match that because it's vocalizations.
Nice.
I just saw a bunch of research that people were actually doing on cats, and then they had a video of a Savannah cat who is, everybody knows, is still quite wild. Oh, yeah. So they take their Savannah cat out into the world on a harness, very trained, but the vocalizations that they make are actually, they're mimicking the birds so that the birds don't fear them, and then they go hunt them. They want to find out where the target is. Cats are murderous and beautiful.
Okay, and I'm gonna, hey Joe, this is what changed my mindset as far as cats are concerned, because yes, I fully believe cats can talk. Because I had a cat on the table, all right, and I would swear to you during the entire groom, that cat was saying, help me, help me, help me. And then when the owners came to pick the cat up, I'm like, oh, hey, your cat talks. And they're like, oh, yeah. He tells us, love you, love you, love you all day long. And I'm like, that was the light bulb moment for me, by the way. I didn't tell her cat was saying, help me. But the message,
I have a cat that says no.
Yeah.
The cat that I groom. He is grumpy cat. Was nowhere near as grumpy as this cat. And so he does get a shave down because his owners can't brush him because he does bite, and he bites for everything.
Mhm.
And petting is like a sketchy kind of thing.
Mhm.
So brushing is like right out. And so when they're petting him, they can do it for like 3 times and that's
Mhm.
it. So when I turn the clipper on, he whips around, he looks at me and goes, "No." And I'm like, "Dude." he just said no. Now I do my cats with insistent. My assistant Angie is across the table from me, and she's like, "He just said no," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And he says no, 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 and then I'll pick up his foot to do his nails, and when I do their nails when they're in a loaf position, so it's just a matter of me sliding my hand under their foot and pushing on the digit to get the nail to come out. And as soon as I slide my hand under there, he turns around and goes, "No." And I'm like, "Dude."
Yeah, they're serious. They're not joking.
Yeah.
No.
Mine, he didn't use words to vocalize, but I had one who had to have, he had a really bad injury. I had to have a leg amputated. And I went to visit him right after the surgery. And he didn't, I couldn't tell words, but he clearly said, "Do you effing see this?" Because he's laying there, and he's laying on his good leg, and the stump, it was like right below his hip. He
Mhm.
looks at it and then looks at me and goes, "Rawr!" Like, "Do you see that what they did to me?" What
Mhm.
the I mean, he looked at it and looked at me like,
What the? What the?
"What the mom?
Yeah.
What the fuck?"
I've
Yeah.
also seen a video of a cat that they've trained to do the buttons.
Oh yeah.
And since
Yeah.
she wouldn't, the mom, I guess, in the situation, wouldn't let the cat do something, and I don't recall what it was, but the cat walked over there, looked her in the eye, and there's a button, and he pushed it, and it was like, "Stupid, stupid, 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 stupid," for forever. And she was just laughing. I'm like, "Your cat thinks you're stupid."
Yeah, there's a lot of cats that use the buttons,
Mhm.
and where dogs will convey the whole sentence in maybe 2 to 3 words, cats are much more specific, and they will use connect 5 to 6.
Mhm.
Because there's this one cat, and I think her name is Billy,
Mhm.
and the mom was like, "No, you can't do that right now. You can do that later." And she's like, "No, where's dad?"
Mhm.
And she's
Mhm.
like, "Well, dad's at work." And she's like, "Dad now. Dad now play with Billy." And it's just like there is complex thoughts going on in there. That's
Oh,
like a
yeah.
whole sort
Mhm.
of okay, if you won't play with this and you won't let me do this, then I want dad and I want dad now. So
Mhm.
that's really crazy and cool.
Mhm. I think the buttons limit them. They're literally talking to us like we're idiots by using the buttons.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I feel. I feel like, look at your cat and look at your dog, look at your animal. They're already talking.
Oh yeah.
All you have
You
to
just
do is
have to
pay
pay
attention to
attention.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But that's a whole nother show. So
That is a whole nother show, and I'm actually
yeah.
going to be appreciative that my cat has murderous instincts because
Mhm. That's who they are. I mean, we still love them. It's fine, but that really is their heart.
Yeah.
well, one of 3 cats in my house has murderous instincts. The other 2 will watch the mouse go by and like, "Oh,
Mhm, mhm.
okay."
Yeah, not everybody's a murderer. Some of us are pacifists.
Well,
One
I
of them
had
is
a friend that had a swimming pool that she had taken out. It was an above ground pool.
Mm.
Mhm.
So underneath was a great deal of sand because they had used that to level. And so that was basically called the Ring of Death. Because for the next year, as the rains would come, the little bugs would come up through the sand. And when they came up through the sand, the birds would come. And
Oh, I already
that was
know.
like right on the edge there where there was like tall grass and woods. And she would just sit in the tall grass and wait until all the little birds would come. And then it was like a murder spree where she would kill like 3 and 4 birds,
Mhm.
then come back, bring them all up on the porch and eat them while looking in the patio door.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Like, I got my own supper. This is so much better than what you guys feed. It's like, oh my
You want
God.
some? I got extra.
And then there would just be like beaks and heads and feet all over the porch.
Mhm,
And they
mhm.
were just like, oh my God, this is just it. And they're like, what do we put over this so it will stop? Because it was literally a murder fest for like a year until
Mhm,
they just ended up bringing in topsoil and putting grass over it.
mhm.
And
Yeah,
she had the
cats are
best time.
responsible for the degradation of many species. They're
Oh,
very
yeah.
deadly outside.
Yeah,
I
they
I
are.
I advocate for making cattery so that your cat does not have free reign of outside. It's a horrible life to live if they're killed outside, and it's a horrible life for all the wildlife that probably should not be murdered at this point. Um, I don't know.
I have indoor cats because I live in the middle of nowhere.
Mhm,
And there are way too many huge predators. I have bears, coyotes,
mhm,
fisher cat, all kinds of things that are literally right outside.
mhm,
And I have the cameras, so you can see the bear and the fox and whatnot, and the coyote strolling on through on a daily basis. And I love him. I, he's my giant kitten, and I want to keep him around for a really long time. So
yeah.
he can be inside, and we have all the little perches near all the windows and stuff,
Mhm,
so he can look out and yell at the squirrel. You're on my porch, you rotten squirrel.
mhm,
We can't do anything about it.
mhm.
So the
And
squirrel is there and everybody's safe.
yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Oh wow.
that's
When
insane.
she says one of her backyard cats even caught a gopher once and he ate it right away. Yeah.
Holy cow! Yeah, they're deadly.
That's
Um,
that's terrifying. And Pedro, I see what you did there with phrasing, and I am not rising to that bait.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Pedro.
Michelle,
This
for
is
at least giggling at that. I appreciate
PG-13.
that. What was that, Mary?
I said yes. We're PG-13.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there was a small story that had been circulating also that there was a young daughter and her father, and I guess they were motherless, and the child wanted a cat. So they went to the pound, got a cat, brought it home, and every 3 months or so the cat would disappear because they let it outside. Well, they had a heavy coyote population. And so
I
after
read this on Reddit.
yes, you
Yes,
know the
I
one I'm
know
talking
where
about.
this is
So
going.
I guess after the 5th or 6th cat or whatever, he was talking to the dad and the daughter was standing right there and he's like, "Why are all these cats disappearing?" "Oh, they die." "Well, how long?" Every 6 months. He's like, "Then you're just feeding the coyotes. You're not getting a new cat. Keep your cat inside like that." Of course, the daughter is like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're letting them be eaten or letting them murder their way through whatever because
yeah.
they kill for sport.
Yeah.
Oh, holy cow. Even my personal indoor cat caught a teenager possum from the screen door gap and grabbed it in.
Now, I think what saved your cat there was teenager possum, because if there's anything that could take a cat, I think it would be a possum, because
Dude,
their teeth can go through Kevlar.
Yeah.
their
So
claws. I had one that came up. So there is a stray cat I've been trying to catch for a while. And like I said, we live in the middle of nowhere.
Mhm.
And he is a fairly large, black, short haired kitty.
Mhm.
He's still intact. And I'm trying to gain his trust so I can grab him and get him vetted and adopt him.
Mhm.
Because either a car is going to kill him or something, one of the predators will. And so I haven't been able to actually, like, when I open the door, he's like, "Pew!" So I've been leaving food out for him so that he comes, and he does come twice a day, but we're still working on the relationship. So a possum came up and was like, "Hey, sweet
Oh, they
free food,"
love cat food.
and ate all of his food and was like, "Thanks, lady. This is awesome." But his claws were like,
Mhm.
wow.
Yeah, because they scrape for things. Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Okay.
mean, they were like they could do some serious damage, and his teeth were big.
Mhm.
So quick, because we are really over time. When I
yeah.
was growing up, we lived in one direction above the cliffs. Across from
Palisade?
New York City, the cliffs over the Hudson River. So half a block one way was the cliffs, and half a block another way was a park. So we had a lot of wildlife, and my parents fed outdoor cats. Clearly, that's not all that came up and ate the cat food.
Right.
So the cutest, but things we were very careful about watching was when the baby skunks would come up and eat the cat food,
Mhm.
and we'd turn off the light and the mom would run off. But baby animals know how to get upstairs, but don't necessarily know how to get downstairs. So I'm like,
Mhm.
little me is like behind the screen, behind like 2 layers of door, like watching. It makes it down the stairs and gets startled by something and goes, "Eek!"
Oh no.
On your porch.
No, on our container of parsley.
Hmm.
Ugh.
It died. Parsley died. The parsley. I
Strangely
mean,
enough.
we weren't going to eat it anyway, clearly. But the next morning it was like yellow and shriveled and so we're like, okay, that entire container is
I've been
done
sprayed
now.
by a skunk, so I get it.
It's done. It's done.
Okay, and I just want to make note in Spirit's book, I don't know which chapter it is, but the blind toothless dog nailed himself a skunk.
That's a great story. That is one of my favorites.
Okay, we are almost on 6 o'clock.
I was going to say Mary must have had a snack.
I ate dinner already. I know you.
That was
Hazel.
my first guess, but you know. Okay.
You know, because if I hadn't had dinner, this would have been over 24 minutes.
100%. Mary knows how to take advantage of early bird specials. Much like y'all with the Groomers Ball, it may end tonight. It may be extended till the 31st. There may be only 8 early bird spots left. We haven't 100% decided, but all of that means get your ass over to the
And
website
get your
listed in the
tickets
comments
now.
and get your tickets now.
So you can come and
Because-
laugh at me because I'm having a drink and I'm going to be absolutely hammered.
Well, and you get to
Okay.
dress up,
And
and
you
it's
get
going
to
to be
dress down.
fun.
That too.
Yeah. Dude. My
All
dog's
right.
getting into
Good night,
shit.
ladies. Good night, everybody. We will see
Good night,
you next week.
everybody.